Welcome to Atlanta's Pure Sports Talk, Rankination. Today is Monday the 13th of August, 2018. Anyway, hello everybody. Glad to be back for another week of Rankination Sports Talk, coming to you live from Marietta, Georgia, or recorded by WCU. Anyway, we're going to go over our usual. The Braves, the United, the Falcons, and such a little bit of obviously the season starting in October, late October 24th. Alright, now we're going to get the show started. We're going to talk about PGA Championship, the last major of the year, and Tiger Woods is in the news today for the tournament. Coming into the fourth round, the final round on Sunday, Tiger was tied for sixth. He was, unsafe 4 strokes back in the lead of Brooks Koepka, which was at 12 under. And as the day goes on, Tiger keeps creeping closer and closer as Koepka sees his lead diminish. In the end, Tiger comes up with she's a 64th place standing, which is incredible for things. I think Tiger, that was his best round ever, and I don't know if it's a major or his career. I'm having my stat man check on that now, but he almost overcame the defending champion Brooks Koepka, but in the end, Brooks Koepka won another major, and I think that's his second one of the year. I think he might have won the U.S. Open, if I'm not sure. Hey, Sam, can you check and see if he Brooks Koepka won the U.S. Open too, or if he won another major this year? I appreciate it.
Bruce what?
Brooks Koepka, the guy that won.
Oh, okay.
PGA. Anyway, everybody, thanks a lot. To touch on that, Tiger Woods is he's back in the fray, and hopefully he can, by placing second now, he can make his way to the Ryder Cup. But I don't know, Jim Furyk's in charge of that, so you never know who he's going to pick. Anyway, that's all we have in golf. So yay, Tiger Woods, everybody, blah, blah, blah. So on we go. Over the past week, the Braves, we're going to talk about the Braves run over the past week. Since I last talked to you about the Braves have gone 4-3, and they started last week playing a doubleheader in Washington. They split that series, that little doubleheader. I think they took the second one of that. They took the late one, and then they over the next 2 days they split those two. So they split the whole 4 games with Washington. They got out of there. They came back home, and we started a series against Milwaukee on Friday, and we won hands down on Friday 10-1. Then we come back Saturday and lose 4-2, and Sunday we won. And that was a great game on Sunday. We kept 1-2. Sean Newcomb did not have a good game. He gave up, I think it was he gave up like 4 earned runs or 5 earned runs in like 4 innings, or before you knew it, he was gone. And so, but the Braves kept coming back every time that seemed like, well, at first it seemed like every time that we were to make a comeback that we'd let them score another run. And I was like, oh crap, the bullpen's gonna suck it up again. But they tightened down when they needed to. In the 7th inning, the Braves took the lead on Ozzie Albies' home run, and it was 8-7. And the bullpen was able to hold that lead down until we closed it out, until A.J. Minter closed it down in the 9th, and we took that series 2-1. And we look into going into this week. They're playing right now as we speak. They're playing the Marlins, and they're having a doubleheader right now. And the Braves are spanking all over the freaking Marlon Butte, right? And already 8-1, and it's going into the 8th inning. But I don't think they're having any problem. Going to have any problems with this game, and I don't foresee having any problems tonight. And by the way, tonight a little tidbit for you. It's Touki Toussaint's major league debut pitching today. He's one of our top pitching prospects that we got from the Padres years ago, and he's been touted as one of their favorite young pitchers coming up. He's just had a little minor setbacks in the minor leagues, but I think he's getting his chance. He's still a young kid, so he's got years and years to go. and if he's going to be successful in Major League Baseball. And I hope the best for him, and I hope he can start kicking butt for us, because we definitely need some more solid pitchers. I'm not banked for sure. I'm not taking this team to the bank on for their pitching right now. I don't trust it, and the bullpen I definitely don't trust. But it seems like our trade we made for Gossman, the pitcher from Baltimore. He came in the other day, pitched a great game, and he pitched a great game his first time out. But he had no run support, so you gotta just go with the stats on that one. It's just purely we got the better end of the deal on that, and so fingers crossed the Braves can come out this week and have another good week. I mean, what the Braves really need is start, instead of playing this 500 ball, win 2, lose 1, lose 2, this and that, and then by the end of the week they're 500 again. Now we need to pull a string of 5 wins in a row or 6 wins in a row, and then kind of pulling away to where we start creeping. I don't know if you noticed this over the years, like that it takes a while for the Braves to get to certain games over 500. Once they hit 10 games over 500, they'll start cruising for a while, playing 500 ball, and then they'll eventually have a couple of winning streaks. Then they'll even out. They'll have a winning streak, a long winning streak of 6 or 7 games, and then they'll be 17. Once they creep over to, then they'll creep up to the 20 games over 500, and then they'll cruise the rest of the way out. But the Braves are hardly ever more than 25 games over 500. Well, a lot of baseball teams aren't like that, except for except for the Boston Red Sox, where they're having a killer year this year. They're like 30 games plus over 500 this year for them. And in the second place Yankees over there, they're freaking they're 30 games over 500. So that tells you what the AL East is like this year. Anyway, going past that, we're gonna wash our hands of the Braves for right now, and we're gonna talk about the Falcons preseason loss to the New York Jets. The lowly New York Jets are flying high after the weekend. So it was a crazy. I was gonna bring my apologies to my listeners. I had put up and advertised that I was gonna have a special Falcons podcast or whatever for the game, but I was so upset. It was so lame. The score was 17-0. If that tells you anything, and all the scoring I think was in the first half. The Falcons, everything that they played was all the starters played. Matt Ryan and the crew played one series. It was lame. I don't think they got backed up to the 5-yard line, and it was like third down. It was like third down and 22 or something. And Matt Ryan, they didn't do anything. After that, they were done for the night. By the way, Julio Jones didn't even dress out, and neither did Devontae Freeman. Which they didn't. Nothing's wrong with them. Everybody don't get excited. Nothing's wrong with them. That was all in the plans. That they wanted to, I guess they're trying to save them for when they really needed to take a look at them, when they really needed some game time experience, some game time practice for the upcoming season. But we all know that Julio Jones doesn't need any practice to play in the game, because he's a monster wide receiver anyway. He's the best in the NFL. He's way better than Megatron, because he can last more than 9 seasons. Megatron, lame old Georgia Tech, couldn't even last 10 years. Because my head was hurting. I get encephalopathy. I might not remember my name when I'm 60 years old. But anyway, my bad. I shouldn't have been picking on making fun of the guys that get serious brain damage from years of football injuries, head injuries.
Yeah, you're going to hell because of that statement, Rankin. That's it.
Don't say that.
Well, I'm just, what? I thought you were stronger than that with God.
Yes. Anyway, just in the Braves took the doubleheader opener 9-1, and that's pretty much sums it up in that game. We beat the dogs out of them. But here we go. We're gonna go try to catch some Marlins again later on today. Hopefully we can reel some in. Maybe we can take them up to wasn't that what they were trying to catch on the movie the perfect storm.
Oh,
They
right.
were reeling on all those marlins in, and they never made it back to the coast.
That's right, Rankin.
Anyway, all right, back to the Falcons preseason. We're talking about Julio Jones, and they sat out him and Devontae Freeman. Calvin Ridley, he had one catch for -4 yards. I remember it was a screen. The only reason -4 yards, it was a screen pass, and they read it out and snuck him down. And that was I think it was the only attempt that was made towards him. And I think that's pretty much the only play he played too. But the D line, coming into the game, the D line was suspect because we only had one returning defensive lineman from last year. I think it's Grady Jarrett, and now we have our first round pick, Deadrick Sinat. I think I said his right name, his first name right, but his last name is Sinat. And then we have Jack Crawford, and I forgot the other guy's name. But then we got our two bookends, pass rushers with Pat McKinley, and I don't know how they're gonna. They've been using Vic Beasley in the linebacker position. Slash defensive end, whatever, slash, they'll send him out on in pass coverage from the linebacker's position a lot because he's faster than normal. He's faster than your regular ordinary defensive lineman. He's built like a linebacker, but it all depends on how you want to play him. But he's coming in the final year of his rookie contract. So are a lot of other guys. I think Grady Jarrett also, but they did last week. I mentioned they re-signed Jake Matthews to a 5-year deal, inked him down. Good boy, Jake. I wouldn't say you deserved it, but I don't know if you took a pay cut or was lateral or whatever. But I know you had to hold that guy back in the Super Bowl. I know you had to because Matt Ryan would have got his head taken off. But you go, boy. Anyway, we got him down. I'd rather have him than some no-name guy that we don't know what's going to happen, and then Matt Ryan get blindsided by him. But that's all said and done. Anyway, everybody looked good. I don't, of course you've seen Deion Jones running all over the field. He's fast, he's speedy, fast, our awesome up-and-coming linebacker. He's gonna make his mark this year more than ever. I thought he made his mark last year, but he had that game-saving interception in the end zone last year against the Saints, which was totally awesome. I'm sure everybody watched that game. If you're a Falcons fan like me, and remember that one play that stood out. It made him as a linebacker speak for himself right there. But preseason loss. Oh, and here's the we're gonna chime in with. I want you guys to email me for the question of the day. And the question of the day is: how many times have the Falcons made the playoffs when posting a losing preseason record? And this isn't since the beginning of the Falcons' history. I'm talking about since maybe the Mike Smith era. Say the Mike Smith era up till now this year in the Dan Quinn era. How many times have the Falcons made the playoffs when posting a losing preseason record? Basically, the Falcons do not, especially in the Dan Quinn era, they don't look at the preseason record because last year they were 0-4 and they were 10-6 in the regular season. The year before that, they won one preseason game, and they went to the Super Bowl. So, take that into consideration before everybody starts whining like, oh my God, the Falcons get stuck. You can't. Like, you can pretty much judge the way you pretty much judge the team in the preseason by what the starters do when they come in, even though they might play a series or maybe the first quarter or maybe the first half by the end of the preseason. But that's how I always gauge them. And if they do pretty well, they do what they're supposed to do while they're in there, then I kind of take a deep breath and go, okay, well, this is what the first team did. That's what everybody else should do too. And root for your favorite. You see these guys that are trying to make the team, the guys that stand out, like the guy last week, Kazee. He was on the team squad last year, but he made his case. He made his case to be on the Falcons squad again this year. Definitely, I think he had 12 tackles, or something like that. And you can tell me I'm wrong if I am. But he had more than he had double-digit tackles last night, the other day, Friday night. All right, next, that's the end of the Falcons. And we escaped. We escaped the preseason game injury free, so we have that going for us now. And that's wood. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. Yeah, that's part of the game. And teams have to drive on. They have to find ways to replace these guys when they do get injured. That's the mark of a good deep team. Also, but people do get injured, and this is a rough sport that we're playing. And so, granted, hopefully nobody gets hurt. I don't want to hear anybody anywhere getting injured. It's just it's bad. I don't ever wish for anybody on another team to get injured, because it's going to come back on me and my team, and I don't like to do that. So, just a little. I'm very superstitious when it comes to my sports teams in Atlanta, and I have a right to be. So, if you've been an Atlanta fan as long as I have, and you've seen it all, especially you've seen it all when it happened in the Super Bowl. I did, in the back of my mind, that Super Bowl, I was always like, well, it's not over till it's 0-0-0-0 across the on the clock or whatever in a Falcons game, because I've seen some really stupid crap happen in the history of sports. And you know what? There's a lot of Falcons and Atlanta teams in those ridiculous things that happen to teams in sports history. So, like I think the Hawks at one time they scored the fewest points in a quarter in NBA history or something like. That's not a good thing to have heading over you. But it's an Atlanta team, and it doesn't surprise me. But I think somebody overcame that record. I think they don't hold the record for that anymore, by the way. But just at the time, it kind of was. I was hanging my head about that. Anyway, we got the Atlanta United coming up now. Talking about what they did last week. I really not tuned in, but I know they had they lost to the Charleston Battery, 1-0, and that was an away game. I don't think the United really think too much about when they lose a game, because they're so good anyway. But let's see what we got going on here. Their standings, what they got here? They're still ahead of the Eastern Conference. They got 48 points with a 7-2-4 home record and a 7-2-2 away record. Overall, they got 14 wins, 4 losses, and 6 ties. And our superstar, we have a superstar in the league. I think it's the only we have 2 or 3 superstars on all of our teams, and 2 of them are on the Falcons, which is Julio Jones and Matt Ryan. A lot of people don't give Matt Ryan the props that he deserves, but Matt Ryan, who out there besides Aaron Rodgers and an aging Tom Brady and Roethlisberger and who else I can't really think of the top of my head who's left. But then you have to put Matt Ryan in there. Nobody ever does. But I'll shout this out to Matt Ryan. If you ever listen to my podcast, that I'm a big fan of Matt Ryan's, and without him, the Falcons would be nowhere right now. They would never have had the success that they've had over the tenure he's been here since 2008. The Falcons have, I think, missed the playoffs not even a handful of times. They've missed the playoffs 1, 2, 3, 4 times, I think, since Matt Ryan's been here, and that's saying a lot. And he blows away every stat that any Atlanta Falcon quarterback has ever had, with passing yards in a season, touchdown passes, touchdowns, throwing touchdowns. He broke that a year before us against. It was Steve Bartkowski had that record for. Steve Bartkowski had the record for most touchdowns passes thrown in a season until Matt Ryan blew that record away. But back in the day, quarterbacks didn't throw for 4,000 yards. It was unheard of. And if you did, you were like Dan Marino. And Dan Marino, back then, Dan Marino and one of the quarterbacks were the only quarterbacks to have thrown for 5,000 yards in a season. And until Drew Brees and, of course, Peyton Manning had done it recently, and Matt Stafford did it. Maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. Now, please, if I'm throwing some wrong answers out there, wrong stats out there, I want you to go to my webpage and send me an email and tell me this, where I can read it online, and you can say, Rankin, you were wrong. Rankin's wrong. I want you to say that I don't want to be spewing any ill stats out there for everybody to listen to in Rankination, because I want you to go and argue with not argue. I don't want to say argue. I want you to put up a debate against somebody and be wrong, because you won't be wrong if you're listening to Rankination. You're gonna be long, strong, and in what you're talking about, and you're gonna have everything you need to know to back it up. And I'm not saying we have anywhere near the greatest teams in the world, which but if you live in Atlanta and you're an Atlanta native, I'm very loyal to everything that I do, and it comes from friendships to family to everything, and my sporting teams, and even to people I work for. I'm very loyal, and I don't go against. I stand by a code. I guess that it was brought. I've been like that before I went in the military, but it just goes for everything I stand for, and in your word. If you're not, that's all a man has in the end. If you don't have your word, if your word's no good, then you're no good. That's basically that's everything you stand for right there. Anyway, down that little rabbit hole, I'm going to crawl out of that one. United, they're going to go into the playoffs, of course, this year, and they're going to hopefully they can win the MLS, whatever. I don't even know what the MLS their trophy is called, or I don't even. So I'm new to the world of Major League Soccer. I'm not new to the world of soccer because I've watched a lot of soccer through the rest of the world, and but I'm not really too keen on watching American soccer because it's kind of, compared to the rest, we're kind of vanilla. But not the United. Everybody here is got a strong following for the United, and they're real passionate about it. A friend of mine said he went to the United game, and he said it's an experience there like he's never been to before. And I'm not just saying that he's never been to a soccer game before, so but he's never been to a venue like that before, where everybody's so adamant and fun and just cheering, and everybody's pretty much not bickering and arguing with each other and wanting to fight. But you're gonna have your a-holes there that are gonna be stupid. But everybody's like that. There's always one in the crowd or two in the crowd where you have to take them outside later on and beat the dog snot out of them. But that's another story for another time. We're going to breeze past the United, and I want you to, everybody, email me at, you can go to the website. It's rankinationsportsfans.com, or you can email me straight to my email, which is what is my email address? It's rankinsr1971@gmail.com. rankinsr1971@gmail.com. That's all lowercase, and Rankination's all lowercase. RANKINATIONSPORTS fans.com, all lowercase, all one word. All right, everybody. I want to touch on. I touched on everybody. The Hawks. The Hawks are getting ready to. I think the summer league's coming to a close, or already closed, and they're gearing up for their home opener, which I think is the season opener. They're going to open the season hosting the Dallas Mavericks. Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks, and Dirk had just re-signed with them for the 21st time, for the 21st season there, and he's the longest tenured player to play for the same team in NBA history, taking Kobe Bryant's status with being with the Lakers over. I think he was the Lakers 20 years before Dirk Nowitzki re-signed with the Mavs. which I'm sure. Yeah, Dirk still got it from the outside, but you know what? I don't think he can't post up like he used to. I don't know. Everybody's on him, but he's 40-something years old. How much longer can you go and be effective? But you know them Germans, how they were bred. You know, blonde hair, blue eyes, the master race. No, I'm just kidding. Don't. Yeah, but it's true.
You tell them, Ricky.
Anyway, we're gonna look forward to seeing the Hawks with if they're gonna get Braintree with their 3 rooks coming in. Trae Young, I'm still not bought into the Trae Young thing, even though he was the leading scorer in the NCAA college basketball last year. And you got this. We had this ginger guy from Maryland, Cantor or whatever. Then we have, I forgot his name. He's from Villanova. He was their power forward, I think, or center. He's got experience with winning, so we'll see how it goes. Now we gotta come to the end of the cast here. We're gonna touch upon Marietta sports, football, to be the main topic of today for Marietta sports, and a little preseason action for football from over last Friday. Marietta romped North Atlanta 49-7, and it was no contest. I don't know the ins and outs, but it says here the quarterback Tyler Hughes shows strong arm, a nice touch on TD pass to one of the Gabriel Durham-Campbell. So our real test is coming up this Thursday night in Rome. We'll travel up to Rome, I think, to play them. Then we're supposed to go up to DC to play some football for those boys up there. To show them what we're all about. Now, anyway, we have some updates on the allegations of the football, all that crap about Marietta football and their sanctions. There's an article in the MJC. Or the MDJ, Marietta Daily Journal, says around town all our Cobb County coaches boycotting Marietta football. See, the article goes on to say it's 5 months until football season. It will be interesting to see which players from Cobb County schools have transferred into a different county program. Each year it seems there are 20 or 30 kids that change programs for one reason or another, with an open enrollment that is perfectly fine, provided the school has a place for them. Things are a little different at Marietta, both in fact of enrollment, but also in the numbers game, according to some of the coaches in Region 3, 7A, which involves Hillgrove, Kennesaw Mountain, McEachern, North Paulding, and the Blue Devils. Around town has learned that at a recent region meeting, Marietta coach Richard Morgan was confronted by some of the coaches concerned of possible player recruiting. It seems there are rumored to be as many 16 players that moved into Marietta District this year, including a few that could be considered 3- and 4-star prospects. Calls to most of the coaches in Region 3, 7A to expand on the conversation were not returned. One coach on a voicemail said they wanted to handle this in a professional way. What most likely means is they put Marietta on notice. If there is anything going on that shouldn't be, it had better stop. And it seems like, at least for now, the other region coaches are going to leave it at that. The reason we believe that is because the representatives of the Georgia High School Association told us there are no current investigations going on into Marietta, and there have been no official complaints filed against Blue Devils, which means all the other freaking stupid ass coaches around the county are going, oh, we don't. They're big crying about some stupid bull crap. Since Marietta the sanctions were brought down against Marietta, so they had to vacate all the wins last year and all the playoff wins last year, and pretty much the season was gone. It's vanished. So after the sanctions, they're crying about these kids moving into the Marietta district, which that's perfectly legal. Who says that you can't move into the Marietta City School District and play football for them? It's like if you had a legitimate place to stay, it's like as long as they're not staying at a freaking hotel, Motel 6 or whatever during the school year, who gives a crap? Like, more power to them. Hillgrove and all you guys, I know you guys are powerhouses. McEachern wins every year, and I think North Cobb's been winning recently. And Kennesaw Mountain, I think they're never going to win, so it doesn't matter. They're just crying because they can. Anyway, kudos to you crybabies out in the rest of Cobb County. We'll see what happens, but I doubt anything from me. The coach is going to get put on notice. Woo! Okay, anyway, we're going to end with that. We got some more stuff. I just told you about the sanctions that were put down against Marietta, which the last year's team was, and all that was it's nixed from the records, like it never even happened. So spank. There you go with spanking Marietta's bottom on the spanking them on the bottom and saying, okay guys, don't you do that no more. So anyway, that's all we had to say. I'd say they're going up to, like I said, they're going up to Rome this Thursday. I think on the 16th. Yeah, on the 16th, they're going to Rome. I don't know if that's a regular season game or is it or it's like this last week, which is a preseason game. It's doesn't even count for anything. But I know they're going up to DC. I think the week after this one to play some boys up there. The boys up there, and we'll play some smash mouth football with them Yankees up there in DC. I don't know if they're technically Yankees because they're like right around the Mason-Dixon line. So anyway, that's about I'm gonna let the redneck out on me a little bit on that, but yeah, they're all Yankees. It don't matter. Anywhere above the freaking Tennessee is a Yankee to me anyway. And then after that, your Hill people, and then your Yankees. Okay, we'll put it like that. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna end today's cast with thanks for joining me today, and I really appreciate you listening. Please come to my website. Remember that we had the question of the day which was again, I want you to email me your responses. The question is, how many times have the Falcons made the playoffs when posting a losing preseason record since the Mike Smith era? So basically from Mike Smith era through the Dan Reeves era or Dan Quinn era. All right, so everybody, just send us your emails with your answer to the question of the day, and we'll get that together, compile that, and get it out to you for the next podcast. The results of that. All right, now we're going to wrap up the show with just a little reminder. I'm going to be doing my fantasy league report starting probably next week, and we're going to be doing our fantasy league through the NFL.com. We're going to see if you can sign up with them, and then my report will be based out of what the NFL.com is putting out, and through other sources also. And I'm going to throw my little opinion in there as well. So basically, that's just a reminder for that. And I just want to sign off by saying, please go to my website, RankinationSportsFans.com, and please tune in. And you can go to Podbean.com to tune in to my website, to my podcast here as well. And please email me. My personal email, you can email me through my website also, but you can also just go straight to my email at rankinsr1971.com, rankinsr1971.com, all lowercase. Even the numbers are lowercase. Never mind, can't do that. Anyway, all right, thanks for everybody for listening to another one of my podcasts, and hopefully I can have more listeners to tune in. So I appreciate everything. Good night, goodbye, good day. Love y'all. Bye bye from Rankination.